I perceive this as an innocent picture of me playing with a child, but this is actually poverty porn. We were sometimes encouraged to interact with the children for the sole purpose of getting photos like this. These were then published on our daily blog so that leaders could talk about what a great thing we were doing and how selfless we were and how we were spreading God's love and changing the world for the better, one AIDS orphan at a time. This is part 3 of my story.
So in today's video, we're going to be talking about mission trips. I swear, when I hear those words, it doesn't give me the best of feelings. But the young man we saw earlier took to TikTok and shared his experience from a mission trip he was on in South Africa. And he did a little bit of an expose there of the not so good things that went down while he was on the mission trip. It's a long video because he did share quite a lot, so I'll try not to interject as much.
To some, this may seem like a joyful picture of me giving a child a toy. What you might not know is that moments after this photo was taken, the toy was forcibly removed from that girl. I should not have been there, and this photo should never have been taken. Before I continue, I'd like to take a moment to say that you should follow this and why it is so wrong and some of the harm that it does. So now it's time for me to talk about what I did and why I lied. The story starts in 2013. My brother had just got back from a World Challenge trip to Kenya and Tanzania and was telling my group at church, and one of the girls thought, why don't we do a trip like this? But we could actually go out and help people. We could do an aid trip. And one of the leaders happened to have a connection with a charity based in South Africa who supposedly helped AIDS orphans. And he convinced us it was going to be this really good idea and that we could serve the world in the name of Jesus Christ and spread God's love and really help people. So we started organising events and attending events in order of our cause to try and raise money. And this is where the first problem occurred. We would say at the beginning of every presentation that there were 53 million AIDS orphans in sub-Saharan Africa. That number is incorrect. I believe it's actually around 11 million. And we'd just been given this information from the charity to read out. When a couple of us found out, although 11 million is still a massive number and it's still awful, we were kind of just told to just brush it under the carpet. It might not seem like a big problem, but it should have been a red flag.
Perpetual liars, really they are. And not even the ones who claim to be good Christians or love Jesus are excluded. As we already know, they continue to promote lies and negative stereotypes about Africa.
The second issue, cultural appropriation of a culture that doesn't even exist. We were made to run these events about all the horrible things going on, particularly in South Africa. And we had to sing a song at the beginning as a group called Adiamus by Carl Jenkins. People were led to believe this was a song in an African language, but in fact, Adiamus is not a language at all. It's just random sounds which happen to resemble Latin a bit. Third problem, donation.
Yeah, happen to resemble Latin, and a lot of the customs and things that you guys keep, that people keep, that our people keep. So like over here in America, they don't go back to anything that involves our culture. A lot of the like the dashiki and stuff like that people are into Africanism. They rock that. Doesn't go back to even the Hamite culture. Doesn't go back to Israelite culture either. It's our people. The ox knoweth his owner, but Israel, they don't know. They doth not consider. Okay, I'm gonna let the clip play before you start getting into the precepts and all that.
My mum disagreed with the idea that we should spend the money that was raised to pay for people's flights, food, accommodation. My dad wasn't employed at the time, but she said, you cannot go on the trip unless we are able to pay for all of your costs, because this money should be going to charity. I don't think the money should be donated when you're talking about AIDS orphans and then be spent on flights. Other members of the church were disgusted by this because it made them look bad. But bear in mind, we had 2 years to say.
If you want to watch the whole video, I'm going to leave the link to the video in the description box. But yeah, with no further ado, let's roll the intro. Hey, Shalom, it's your brother Yuwanathon. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakar Kadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Today is another edition of Atrocities of Edom. Now, I know you guys have all seen the commercials, late at night. In the arms of the angels And they play that sad song and they guilt trip you into giving. Okay? But in the video I ran, you see this Edomite, and the tongue is falling upon themselves. You see he's exposing that just like when they came over here to the Americas, the agenda isn't to spread the good news of Jebus. It's to extort the people. Okay? It's to, so-called manifest destiny. And then these devils are doing it in a much smaller way. All right, they're lining their pockets. But when they came over here to the Americas, man, they used that term manifest destiny, and they had to spread the word of God. All right? And they held that image up, man. He also used the term in the clip, the white savior complex. Okay? So you have these Edomites, they'll go over here to whatever country they, set up an organization for. And take pictures with these little kids. And you'll see a lot of Edomites that have pictures of, I went on the missions and, to help the kids in Africa. And they have the little pictures hugged up with a bunch of children. All right, Hamite children. Some of the children amongst them might even be Jake. And they're taking pictures with them like they're doing justice. But when the cameras go off, you heard the boy say, he said what? He said, there was a toy I gave the child, and after they took the pictures, that toy was stripped from that child. They inflate the numbers of the amount of people that they're helping. There's so many lies, there's so many misconceptions, and the purpose as to why they're going over there, it's not true. It's not genuine. Okay? This man is the devil. And everybody's realizing it. Everybody's telling the world that this man is the devil. His children are telling the world that he's the devil. And that they're the devil themselves. So let's get a couple precepts and we'll call it what it is, man. All right? Got a few for you. So let's first go to bear with me real quick. Matthew 6 chapter, and we'll start at the top. It says, take heed that you do not your alms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise, ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. So, they have no reward anyway. But this spirit of trying to seem like, I'm a good person. That vibration, that act has rubbed off on Jake as well. You'll see a lot of Jake. If they do anything to try to help out in their community, it has to be put out there. It's really all they're saying is, hey, look at me. That's what they're doing. All right, let me see how this is phrased in the NLT. All right, this is Matthew 6 and 1 in NLT. It says, watch out. Don't do your good deeds publicly. Now, we do good deeds publicly. We bring out the word. All right, but that's much different than, trying to heap glory unto ourselves. Heap glory unto ourselves. That's heaping the glory unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh, man. That's our reasonable service. That's us being a living sacrifice. That's what we're commanded to do. You're not commanded to paint an image of yourself as this great person. Okay? That'll be revealed if you're walking uprightly anyway. But Matthew 6 and 1, it says what? Watch out. Don't do your good deeds publicly to be admired by others. For you will lose the reward from your Father in heaven. Because the Lord knows. And this devil, his Lord, has been lost. But this is what he does. This is his thought process, right? Now we're back in the KJV, Matthew 6 and 2. It says, therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound the trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward, man. Let's go look up that word. All right. Alms. when you look up the word alms, the third definition says the benefaction itself and donation to the poor, alms. All right, so yeah, like that's a perfect phrase that he used. You know, it's not charity, is what he was saying. He was saying, hey man, it's just poverty porn. When they're taking these pictures and they're going over here to paint this depiction like they're helping the people. They're not helping the people. They don't even help the people here in Babylon. They sent $40 million to Ukraine, $40 billion to Ukraine, and it would take half that to solve poverty here in the States. That's the number. Look it up. How much would it cost to solve homelessness in America? When you look that up, the number they give you is 20 billion, but they sent 40 billion to Ukraine. Let me double check the number it costs to solve homelessness in America. All right. So from globalgiving.org, this is back in 2021, this article was written. It says, according to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, it would cost $20 billion to end homelessness in the United States. That is a big number, yes, but let's put it into perspective. America spends $19 billion a year on unplugged appliances. Damn. Americans spend more than $35 billion a year on gym memberships. The U.S. government spent around $718 billion on its military in 2019 alone. So this is something that easily could be done, right? And you know, these groups will go over there, and the donations they receive will be exempt from being taxed. All right. So it's given okay by your government, and they go over here just simply to line their pockets and extort and take advantage of these people. And this is how they soothe themselves at night, because there's a thing called white guilt. They know that they're guilty of the things that they do, but they're programmed to be wicked, so they can't stop being wicked, right? But you know, they think doing things like this, you know, it soothes them. You know, it makes them feel better inside. But at the end of the day, the scriptures say, this. Let me go get it real quick. Fear the eyes of men. Let me see. Yes, Sirach 23:19. All right. It reads, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So they try to appear good in front of the people, but at the end of the day, their judgment is set, man, for their wickedness. You see an Edomite out here trying to portray himself to be a good person. Trust me, it's never the case. The scriptures tell us so. Let's read this one more time. Now I got another precept. This is Sirach 23:19. It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. They think they're building their bunkers. They're coming up with their plots and their plans to try to deceive the elect, trying to extend their temporary blessing. They think that the Lord doesn't see them, when actually the Lord is, you know, the spirits that they pray to. All right, everything that they're doing, the Lord is manipulating them anyway. They don't understand that, hey man, there's no escape from what's written. They think they can avoid it. Okay, so now let me get this other precept here. All right, it says Psalms 55:21, because when they came over here, same thing. They came to the northern kingdom as though they were there to aid and help, and though they were, you know, there for righteous reasons. They were just explorers. But what? They deceived them, gave them, you know, when we was in Pittsburgh, there's a museum called Fort Pitt, and that's one of the locations where they gave the Native Americans, the so-called Native Americans, smallpox blankets infested with smallpox, which decimated the population over here. Okay, millions and millions of people died from that disease that they were carrying. decimated the population. Okay? But again, they'll sit here and act like they're trying to help. You know, the Gates of Hell Foundation, before this whole, the plan demic even popped off, they were over there testing it on them. They were over there, trying different things out, giving them all kind of different shots, infecting people with all kinds of things. Over there in West Africa, which we know West Africa, that portion of the continent consists of a lot of jade. So, you talk about this guy, man, he's up and down wicked from the top to bottom. And if he's doing anything good, man, there's a wicked agenda behind that smile. All right, Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Okay? This man, he'll put his hand, and we jump up a verse, it says this as well. It says, he hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant, and every covenant, every treaty that this devil has wrote up, he breaks it. Every promise he promises you, Jake, before he steps into office and you guys rush to the polls, which that does nothing anyway. He breaks all those promises. But our people, you keep putting your faith and your trust in this man and in Egypt. And in return, you're going to be rewarded evil. All right? Because you fail to hearken unto the counsel of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So in turn, you're going to be destroyed, man. Time and time again, this devil has proved to you who he was. But a big portion of our people, is just not written in their story to listen or to see it. But, hey, call all Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you see it. Blessed are your eyes for you see. Okay? So this is just another edition of the Atrocities of Edom. With that being said, I'm going to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. I'm going to leave the link to the video that I shown in the beginning in the description box. All right? Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom.